Bro. Morning, everyone. Am I audible? Am I audible? Am I audible to everyone?
Yes, sir.
Uh, okay. Yes. So just wait for 1 or 2 minutes. Start. Yes. So in yesterday's class, we were discussing something on the correlation aspect. So let's continue the same discussion today. Um, yes. So yesterday, I think we were discussing something on rank correlation. Rank correlation is a type of parameter or a type of measure actually used when the perception is being considered or the ratings are being considered or wherever there is a subjectivity being considered, rank correlations are being used. Okay? But in case of exact measures like cost, sales, total sales, so on and so forth, we are using the normal correlation. Okay, so in yesterday's class, did we start this particular topic, rank correlation? Uh, so yesterday, did we solve problem on rank correlation? That is rank correlation when the ranks are not. Right? Have we started any problem on this topic? Uh, did we solve any problems on this particular topic? when the ranks are not given, we are trying to determine the correlation. I'm not getting any type of response. See, Uh, I am just trying to find out like is this problems this rank correlation problem which is related to the calculation like when the ranks are actually not given, uh, try to determine the rank correlation. We actually solve any type of problems related to this.
No, sir.
No, it is not done. Is it right? Okay. So just make note of this example. That is advertising expense. Advertising expense is given. Uh, and as well as sales. Okay, so the actual figures are given like 39, 65, 39, 65, 62, and 90. Sales data is 53, 58, and 86. Right? So these actual numbers are given. Now, what we are supposed to do is we are supposed to determine the rank correlation. Okay, the question is we are supposed to determine rank correlation. Okay, determine rank correlation. Okay, using Pearson coefficient. Is it fine? So this is the question. Just make note of it. And then we'll go ahead. Solution. I hope that this question is being noted down. We'll just go ahead. We'll start with the solution part. Now, only difference between the previous problems and this, the ranks were given in the previous context. But here, the ranks are not given. We have to determine the rank and then we go back. Okay. Uh, then the calculation will be the same. First is we have to determine the rank for not rank for rank for. I will just call this column as I will call this column as.
Sir, few of my friends are unable to join. If you would please let them in, then it would be good, sir.
How many of them are there? I think I can see only two of them. I will admit them. How many of them are there? is not showing. Earlier it used to show fit them or not. I once again, if it is not there, I will just proceed. Later, I think we can. I think I have admitted them. So possibly it's not showing anything over here. Correct? So just going ahead. Rank A and rank B, correct? So we are supposed to rank this particular column first. So if you have to see the first and the foremost advertising expense, the highest advertising expense here, which is the highest advertising expense? Can anyone tell? The highest advertising expense, first column value?
90.
Next, what is the next highest?
65.
5. Next is 62 and 39. That's right. Similarly, we have to rank the next column. Next column has to be ranked, which is the highest sales. Highest sales
86.
86. So again, this will be ranked first. Next highest
58.
53. So do you find any correlation here? Before determining only, probably we can just determine the correlation. Do you find any type of a correlation here between the ranks? Is there any type of a similarity in the ranks? Correlation is nothing but the similarity. Do you find any type of a similarity between the ranks? Yes or no? Do you find any similarity between
Yes,
the
sir.
ranks? Yes. So definitely the
Yes, sir.
yes. So that is the reason correlation should be on the higher side. Correlation should be on the higher side. Now rest of the calculation becomes the same. So what should be the next calculation here? You have to determine the difference. Then you're supposed to go ahead. Difference B is A minus B. Then we have. Can you do this? You have to determine the difference between first and the second rank, and then we have to go just will be confusing. This is rank of A. This is rank of B. Update and but is it understood here? We're supposed to determine the ranks like what we problems. So 4 minus 4 is also correct. Can you just continue this problem? So finally, you have to determine the solution of this column. Okay. Find out the solution of the last column. So before that, I think probably those who want the notes, you can just make a note of it. And those who do not want, they can just proceed with the calculation and continue this. Just few lines we will write. Let's see how this column is made. So write explanation, 1 or 2 lines. The advertising expense, just write this explanation, whoever wants it. The advertising expense, advertising expense, advertising expense, the advertising expense is sorted from, is sorted from, is sorted from, sorted from, sorted from the ascending, the highest value to the lowest value. Sorted from the highest value to the lowest value. from highest value to the lowest value. Highest value to the lowest value. Stop. The highest advertising expense is equal to 90. 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 The highest advertising expense is 90. Therefore, therefore, this value is ranked as number 1. Therefore, this value is ranked as number 1. Therefore, this value is ranked as number 1. Okay. The next highest advertising expense is 65. 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 Next highest advertising expense is 65, comma, which is ranked as 2. Which is ranked as 2. Ranked as 2. Ranked as 2. Okay. So, what are the different values here? Can anyone tell what different values for D after 0?
Minus 1.
Next.
1. 0.
Square is 1. Summation. Correct? I assume that everyone has got the same type of answer. Now you have to apply the same formula, you have to get the answer.
Yes,
If-
sir.
I think here the important aspect is that you have to first know that you are supposed to apply rank correlation. In the semester end examination, very much important that you read the question related to the correlation. Twice, thrice. And you should see which correlation needs to be applied here, whether the Pearson correlation. Pearson correlation is applied when there is weight, or they may have um, applied when there is weight, age, marks. Marks is given, while this is called Pearson's, and Spearman correlation is applied when there is ranking, rating, differences. But here, in this particular problem, what they have done is they have given weight, but the question is asking us to determine the correlation using Spearman's rank correlation. Okay. These are the types of correlation coefficients. Types of correlation coefficients. Okay. So first type is Pearson correlation coefficient. Second one, Spearman correlation coefficient. First one, when these are exact values, is it right? Now, as I assume that you have completed the data collection process project, you may have already observed that weight, age, marks, these are all exact values which you get from the respondent. But ranking, rating, preferences, these are nothing but these are called as a subjective. Subjective, it is subjective to one's own opinion. Right? So whenever these things happen, we are applying Spearman's rank correlation. Otherwise, it's Pearson correlation coefficient. Okay? Deleting this, erasing this. I hope everyone has made note of this. So just calculate the rank correlation. Remains the same. Divided by n into n square minus 1. What is n in this case? What is the value of n? What is the value of n? Anyone with the final answer? N is equal to 4, correct? Answer is plus 0.8, is it right? Is it plus 0.8 or minus 0.8? It plus itself. Right? Everyone getting the same value? It's not minus, is it right? Are everyone getting the same value?
Yes, sir.
All right. So this actually okay. So what we'll do is next. Go for the next component. We'll go for the next component, that is under rank correlation. The rank correlation. Another category called as repeated ranks. There is another topic that is called as repeated ranks. That is nothing but assume that the same student has scored or he has achieved the same rank in two different subjects. So how do we manage this type of situation, or how the allotment is being done? Usually, the ranks in this case will be rank allotments will be in the form of the average. Average is being considered, and the rank correlation is being determined. Let us assume that of student A, marks of student B is as below. Note of this repeated ranks. Let us assume A, marks of student A, marks of student B. is being given. Now, let's make note of a few of the values. 19, 19, and here we have here in marks there is no again the question is determine rank correlation. I am again telling again and again, read the question twice. If they have asked you to determine the rank correlation, you have to determine the rank correlation itself. Okay. If they have not determined, they have not asked us to determine the rank correlation, then you can even use Carl Pearson's correlation. But since they have asked us to find the rank correlation, we have to convert these marks into ranks. Very much important. Please make note of this. Correct? Since they have asked us to determine this rank correlation, we have to convert the marks to the ranks. Otherwise, let us assume they would have just asked us to determine the correlation coefficient. We could have stayed forward, we could have gone ahead and we could have calculated the Carl Pearson's coefficient of correlation. The first category. Is it right? So please make note of this. Very important. Next, what would be the ranking here? Ranking, if you have to, you can just make a right solution and write this right solution and write this explanation. Right solution, write this explanation. The highest marks in subject A is 24. The highest marks in subject A is 24. The highest marks in subject A is equal to 24. The highest marks in subject A is equal to 24. Comma, which is ranked number 1. Is ranked number 1. Which is ranked number 1. Which is ranked number 1. Okay, full stop. The next highest value is 19. The next highest value is 19. The next highest value is 19. Highest value is 19. The next highest value is 19. The next highest value is 19. Stop. Since this value repeats twice, this value repeats twice, this value repeats twice, this value repeats twice, since this value repeats twice, we consider this value repeats twice, we consider m1 is equal to, I have written it on the white screen. We consider m1, I've written it on the screen. Refer to this. m1 is equal to, consider m1 is equal to 2. m1 is equal to 2. m1 is equal to 2. Since there is a tie between the second and third rank, since there is a tie between the second and third rank, since there is a tie between the second and third rank, since there is a tie between second and third rank, a tie between second and third rank, tie between second and the third, comma, average value of 2.5, 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 average value of 2.5 is allotted to both of these ranks. Is allotted to both of these marks. Is allotted to both of these. Is allotted to both of these marks. Is allotted to both of these marks. Okay. Yes. Any doubts here? Anyone has any type of a doubt? The first rank for subject B 37, next rank would be 35, third rank, and fourth. Correct? If there is any type of a doubt, you should ask. If there is any type of a doubt, you are supposed to ask. Correct? Next, you have to find out the difference like what you have done in this problem. Difference between the ranks you have to determine. Difference between the ranks 0, 0.5 minus 1. Square is 0. Right? What is summation? Anyone? Anyone give me the summation for B square?
Three 3.50.
3.5. 3.5 should be B square. Just make note of this. Go ahead. So once this is done, we have to determine the correction factor. So just do not calculate the correlation coefficient. Just wait. We have to determine the correction factor first. Then we have to go ahead. So we have to determine correction factor. So whenever there is a repetition, we have to determine the correction factor. What is correction factor? M1 whole divided by 12. Now this is a constant. 12 is the same for all the problems. I have to divide this complete component by 12. Is it right? Now, since 19 has repeated twice, we have considered M1 as 2 square minus whole divided by 2. What will be the answer for this? What will be the answer for this? 2 into 3 whole divided by
0.5.
But if anyone has not understood this step, please ask me, because this is an online class. And I cannot make out who has understood, who has not understood. If there is any type of clarification is required, you are supposed to ask me. Right? So there is no doubts. I assume that everyone has understood. Go ahead. So once this is done, now whenever there is a repetition in the ranks, only changes you have to determine the correction factor. So once that is done, that we calculate the rank correlation. Rank correlation formula minus 6 into summation of t square plus correction factor whole divided by n into a square minus 1. So only that, what happens is this correction factor gets added here. Whatever answer you have got, 0.5, that has to be included here. Okay. So I actually expect everyone to be a little bit fast with the calculation. Summation d square was how much? I remember it is 3.5. 3.5 plus 0.5 whole divided by n. N was 4. 4 into 4 square minus 1. Calculation. Can anyone just simplify this and give me the answer? 4 divided by 60.
0.6.
Is 0.6, and it is plus. Sign is positive. Yes. So if there is any doubts, you can come and ask me later. What we'll do is we can just quickly make note of why, because we will solve one more similar type of problem. Just quickly make note of this, and then we will go ahead for the next problem, which is similar to this repeated ranks. That example, we'll try to consider the, we'll see that the in this example, yes. So in this example, only one mark was repeated twice, that is 19. The next example, we will repeat two different marks again and again. Okay. Just make note of this. Then we will go ahead. It is only that summation d square gets added with the correction factor. That is the only uh, change in the formula. Okay. So let's quickly go for the next one. Example 2. Example 2. 4, 9, 19, 19. Here we will repeat one more value, 37, 60. And let us assume that two different values are getting repeated. Or else what we will do is, just a minute, we finish two different categories of problems. One more problem, we will just finish it with this. Take this as, so 1 mark is getting repeated twice, and the other mark is repeating twice. Okay. Uh, so in the solution part, you can just write. Yes, the question is again determine rank correlation. Again, the same thing. Do not solve Carl Pearson question for this. Here you are supposed to determine the rank correlation. Be very much careful in the examination. See once and twice which problem is related to rank correlation. You have to convert the marks to the ranks. Okay, so just write in one word. Write in one word. Here 19 is repeated twice. Here 19 is repeated twice. Here 19 is repeated twice. 19 is therefore M1 is equal to, is there on the white screen, just keep this. Therefore M1 is equal to 2. Therefore M1 is equal to M1 M1 and average of the ranks 3 and 4 and average of the ranks 3 and 4, average of the ranks 3 and 4, average of 3 and 4 is allotted to the value 19. Is allotted to the value 19. Is allotted to the value 19. 19. Is allotted to the value 19. Okay. Full stop. Full stop. 37 is repeated 3 times. 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 3 times. Therefore, M2, I have written this on the white screen, equal to this. Therefore, M2 is equal to 3. Therefore, M2 is equal to 3. Therefore, M2 is equal to 3. Stop. Therefore, M2 is equal to 3. Stop. There is a tie between tie between the first, second, and third rank. There is a tie between the first, second, and third rank. A tie between first, second, and third. Therefore, average average of 2, therefore the abnormal value. I've written it on the right side. Okay. Is being allotted to 37. Is being allotted to the value 37. Allotted to the value. Allotted to the value 37. But I hope you have understood this. In case if you are not understood, come and ask. Just continue this problem. Okay. So we are doing a lot. Yes. We are allotting second rank to the first 3. Right? Wherever there is 37, we are allotting rank 2. As we have already used 1, 2, and 3. So the next rank would be 4. Because here we have already defined what the first ranks. The next rank would be 4. There will be no 3, no rank 1. Okay. This is the rank allotment. Rank allotment. Now further calculation is the same like just be a little bit this. If there is any type of a doubt, you can comment later. For now, we will do this problem. So determine the difference between the 2 ranks and determine the difference between the first 2 ranks is 0. Next 2 ranks minus 1, 3.5 minus 2 minus 0. B square is 0. The answer for summation. Anyone with the answer?
4.5.
B square is 4.5. We want to making next is we have to determine the correction factor. Determine the correction factor calculation. We have to consider M1 as well as what was M1 value?
Sir, it's 3.5. Sorry.
3.5. What was M1?
Two.
M2 is 3. Is it right? That is the reason correction factor on plus M2 into M2 square minus 2 whole divided by what will be the answer? M1 into M1 square is 0.5, I believe. and m2 into m2 square. What is m2 into m2 square minus 1? I believe it is 2.5. Correct? Is it right? So are you getting the correction factor? Is equal to this value, correct? Once this is done, next is we'll determine u summation d square. So once this is done, we'll determine the rank correlation. Rank correlation is 1 minus 6 into summation d square plus correction factor. Here there is no much of confusion because only that summation d square you have to add correction factor. You have to add correction factor to d square. Summation d square was 2.5 plus 2.5. Correct? Whatever values I'm writing, I just want to cross verify. Is it right or not? 4 into 4 square minus 1. I'm just rubbing the left side. For this, rank correlation will be 1 minus 6 into 6 into 6 divided by 10. How much is this?
0.6.
0.6 because
0.4.
0.4. 6 will be this, correct? Yes, correct. Final
Yes, sir.
answer. Okay. So whenever there is a correlation problem, first thing is you are supposed to see what is the question all about. Have they asked you to determine the rank correlation or just the ordinary correlation which you do every time? So if they have asked you to determine the rank correlation, you have to convert the marks to ranks. If the marks is given, then you have to convert the marks to the ranks. Okay. Otherwise, if the ranks are directly given, you can directly start calculating the rank correlation. Is it fine? About the topic. If you have any type of doubts, can always contact me and you can ask for any type of clarification. Okay. If possible, we will have an extra class in the coming week, not this week. I believe that most of them are busy this week, getting subjects. So possibly, if there is any type of a slot, we will hold an extra class in the next week. Otherwise, anyways, we have regular class so on Monday, so that that in that class we will try to finish the syllabus. After that, if we get an extra class, then we'll try to solve some more problems related to our topic. Regarding the project submission, uh, the guidelines, I think the hard copy of uh, the hard copy submission is not required. So whatever the report you have developed in the form of MS Word document, so the same MS Word document can be mailed to me, correct? And that is sufficient. Then the last date for submission was 10th, right? So for all the classes, uh, even for B section, I believe it was yes 10th of April itself. In 10th of April, by 10th of April, you can just forward the send the mail, send the report to my mail ID. Okay. Um, so the content and everything will be messaged to you. The content of the report, everything will be mailed to you. Will be messaged to you in the WhatsApp.